Hello, everybody. It is Thursday, and we're back for our wonderful webinars. This month, we're kicking off a new webinar series about navigating TruckLogics. Today is all about using the chart of accounts. This may be a little unknown jewel, so you might learn a little something, and for some of you, you may already know. Just hang tight and we'll get started. I'm your host, Christy Camp. I'm with TruckLogics Support Specialist. I'm passionate about helping you manage your trucking business, if it's in the office or on the roads with your drivers. It is important to us that you and your account function to the fullest of its abilities. So today's webinar is, what is your chart of accounts? Navigating and reviewing, creating new accounts and editing for income accounts and expense accounts. And then, of course, at the end, we'll have a small Q&A. So just hold on tight, and I'm going to switch over to our demo account and show you what the chart of accounts is. So when you log into your TruckLogics account, you're going to be presented with your dashboard. The dashboard is the default landing page, and across the orange title bar, you'll see your modules that help you navigate through your system, whether it's your loads, your dispatches, your accounts, email logs, address book, so forth. So today we're going to focus a little bit on accounts, and this little jewel here is called the chart of accounts. When you're presented with this chart of accounts to begin with, you see a quick view of what income accounts you have, what expense accounts you have. You can show up to 100 in this field. It'll give you the category that each one of your accounts are represented by and the total income for each one of those accounts. Also, the same goes for the expense accounts. You can sort to 100 and you can see other expense category, repairs, fuel and oil. You can, at a quick glance, you can see where your income and expenses are. You can just navigate to all income transactions over here to the left in the gray menu field. This again is the same. You can then sort by individual income categories from a particular date and then search so that you can find that particular income transaction. Underneath the action column, you can look and click and get a quick view of what it was, when it was paid, so forth. And the same thing for the expense categories. You have expense transactions. This is another shortcut, but it's basically the same screen here. It just gives you all of your expense transactions. So let's go back to the chart of accounts, and we're going to talk about, let's say, for instance, there's an income that you want to add that's not within this field, or there's an income that isn't associated with mileage that you report from an invoice. So here you can click plus add income. This is like if you received a payout in one lump sum, any means that you received additional income that's not associated with that mileage income. Now, you can absolutely put it under mileage income. This is completely up to you. You would select the category from the drop-down field. If for one reason or another that there is not an appropriate category that suits your needs, you can click the plus add. Is this category going to be business related or non-business? You can give it a name, a brief description. You'll also need to select what tax category this needs to fall in. That system was going to default to other income, including federal and state gasoline or fuel tax credits or refunds. And then you'll need to select, is this an active account? If this is not selected, when you're adding that income, it's not going to be pulled in. So make sure that you're selecting active and then click save to create your own income category. So for today, we're just going to say we had an advance from one of our customers of $1,000. We're going to select, we're going to enter that $1,000. It was an electronic funds. You can change the date will change. You can change the date or it defaults automatically to today's date. Let's say we received it Monday, so we can change that. You can select any additional details here. And if per se you want to attach it to a dispatch that this should have originally been attached, you can click here to look up and a list of your dispatches is going to appear and you can select that to attach it to a dispatch without having to go into the dispatch itself, create the income there. This is going to be associated with that dispatch now. If you're needing to add a PDF or a image of the payment, the electronic funds, you can do that and then you'll click save and then it will appear in your chart of accounts as an income. So let's say you did that and you no longer need that account. So here we're going to go back to our chart of accounts. We're going to create that new account. We're going to make it an income account. We're going to say business topics. You can or cannot add a description, unrelated in business or whatever it relates to you. You can make it funny or whatever. We're going to leave this as active so that it'll appear and we're going to save it. Now our income will appear in the drop down in this field here. Business topics, unrelated business. We're going to sort it into the tax category of other income including. And then when we add an income, that will now appear here. Here is our business topics. This is why it's important to select that active, because if it's not selected as active, it won't appear in your drop down so that you can add this as an income. So we're going to add a business topic of, let's say, $200. We received that $200 today. We're not going to associate it with a dispatch, but again, if you want to, you can use this quick little lookup and select the dispatch that it should be associated with and click save. Now that income is going to appear in our business topic. It should have been $250. So you can click the edit tab, edit the money, and then save it again. We still received it today. We're not going to associate it with a dispatch. And now you'll see that the income is updated. If for any reason you don't need that income, you've said, oh, well, we refunded the money or whatever so that it doesn't appear in your income, you simply just delete it here. And it's going to ask you, do you want to delete it? And you're going to say yes. And that deletes it. So for the income, that was for the income transactions to help you with your in your chart of accounts. So now you will see that that is here. Let's say you don't want business topics in your chart of accounts anymore. So you'll go to the chart of accounts and you'll see your income accounts listed, and across from business topics, we already deleted the income. So now let's just delete the income account and it is gone. So we'll go down here to expense accounts and it's relatively the same process for that, you'll go to the top, you'll click add new account, but this time we're going to create our own expense account. Let's say we wanted clothing. Sorry, don't mind my typing. Different keyboards, you can't type the same. You're going to enter your description, if it's there or not, that's completely up to you. And then, is it related to other expenses? Is it an interest in mortgage? Is it a pension or profit? This is all relative to you, but typically it will be other expense. Again, you're going to need to select, is this an active expense account? Meaning, is it going to appear in that drop down for you and your office managers or anyone else who adds this? An active reimbursement. This allows this expense to appear in the drop-down fields for your drivers to be reimbursed to the driver. If this is not checked, that driver is not going to receive or be able to view that clothing expense. So we're going to save this as an expense category. Give the system a couple of minutes seconds to update. Then we'll go down to our expense categories, and now you see our new clothing expense account. Now we can start entering expenses under that category. So you can add an expense from here. Here's a shortcut for other expenses. You can go to accounts, go to expense transactions. You can go to your load or your dispatch and add that expense directly related to your dispatch. There is a lot of ins and outs of TruckLogics that you can get to the same page. So for today, we're going to just say we're going to add other expense. We had to buy some clothing on the road, and we paid cash. We'll select who did that or where it went to. For today, we'll just say webinar maintenance. The total amount of the charge. What expense category? And again, I said other so that it would go into that other expense account. So when we pull our profit and loss at the end of the year, or if you pull it monthly or quarterly or whenever you pull it, you'll be able to see that all of these expenses are in the other expense category. You're then going to decide, well, are you going to reimburse this to the driver? So we'll select the driver. Since he paid this, or Amber paid this out of her pocket, we're going to say, yeah, we're going to get this back to her. And that reimbursement will appear on her settlement, her driver settlement at the end, so that you can pay her. She gave you a receipt, so you can upload that receipt, and then you're going to save it. If need be, you can select your unit number that she was associated with, so that she can get clear and add it to the dispatch that she was assigned to, so that everything is linked within your TruckLogics account. You'll use the handy dandy little lookup button, and you're going to associate it with the dispatch that she was on when the clothing expense occurred. So then you'll save it. And now, when you sort by date, you'll see that our Amber driver had an expense for other, and it is a reimbursement, so this will go to her. You can edit it. She actually missed a 5 here. It should have been $55. So we'll just change that to $55. Her receipt actually said $55, so now we'll need to update this. And this is just a little bit of the quick shortcuts that are really available and handy in TruckLogics that give you the tools that are needed so that you can better manage your trucking business or your front end, so that you can have a profitable and business. And just like with the expense category or income category, you can go later and change this. We'll go down here to the expense category. Here's our clothing, and we'll just delete that category. It'll ask, are you sure? And there you go. That also removes that expense. So you just, if it is a legitimate expense and you want to add it to the dispatch, just make sure that you go to the dispatch and add it directly to the dispatch, or you can repeat the steps. Okay, so that is just a little quick overview of your chart of accounts. Like I said, it's a little hidden jewel within TruckLogics that isn't really talked about too much, but it's there for your convenience. It gives you a quick glance. You can do it by year in the drop down. Let's say you wanted to just quickly look at last year, you can change it and you can see your expense categories and your income categories from last year. You can also edit those as you need as well, even if it was last year. All right, I'm going to switch back over to our presentation. And it is Q&A time. So if you have any questions, go ahead and get those typed into the field. We're just going to give a couple of seconds to see if there's anybody who has any questions. All right, I don't see any questions, so we'll continue. So next week's webinar is about automate your account, how to add reoccurring transactions. That will be October 12th at 4 p.m. with our TruckLogics team. Here is our upcoming schedule for October. We just had navigating TruckLogics using the TruckLogics chart of accounts. Next week will be automate your accounting, how to add reoccurring transactions. Then on October 19th, we'll have manage your income and expenses. And the 26th, we'll have accounts and reports in TruckLogics. I touched a little bit on where these expenses and income transactions are going to show up in your profit and loss. On the 26th, we'll dive deeper into that so that you will know how to pull that profit and loss, your year-end tax report, so that you can get your taxes filed. The end of the year is coming up, and everybody will be preparing for tax season in January. So you want to make sure that all your accounting within TruckLogics is set so you can go. And if you haven't already done so, I encourage you to head over to TruckLogics.com and get signed up for our free 15-day trial. No credit card is needed. You'll hear from our wonderful sales team. It's either Summer, Mark, and James. They're going to reach out to you at the beginning, in the middle, and a couple days before your trial ends. We're going to touch base with you. We're going to ask you your pain points. We're going to ask you what you're looking for. We're going to be your guiding hand so that you can manage your business the best with TruckLogics. And as always, we have a wonderful support team here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. That includes William, myself, and Tommy. Our number is 704-234-6946. You can also email us at support@trucklogics.com. Also follow us on all of our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, X, TikTok, and Instagram. And we have a YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/TruckLogics. We have a lot of tutorial information there. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to TruckLogics. We're more than happy to help you. We can forward you all of the resources that we have, and we'll answer your calls to the best of our abilities. We hope that you enjoyed our webinar and it was educational for you. So you guys have a great day and stay safe on the roads.